Hi,
Hi
everybody.
everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome to our stream. I'm Sophia,
And I'm Emily.
and shall we do some introductions for the students that
Yes,
don't know us?
let's
Okay, do
do
you want to start?
yes, so my name is Emily. I'm from a city called Leicester in the UK, famous for the football, for Claudio Ranieri. I live in Bologna right now. I've lived here for 3 years, and I'm an English teacher at my English school, Bologna Mille.
Nice.
Sophia, what about you?
And I'm also from the UK. I come from London, and I have lived in Bologna for 4 years. And I also work at my English school in Bologna Mille. I have worked there for 1 year and a half. We have one introduction. Hi, Antonia. Nice to see
Hi,
you
Antonio.
again.
Nice to see you
Welcome.
again. Please tell us, what
Uh,
are you doing at the moment to keep fit and healthy?
exactly.
Mm.
What are you doing to keep fit physically? What are you doing to keep healthy
Mm.
physically, but also maybe mentally?
Yeah.
What about you, Emily? What are you doing in this period?
I'm probably not doing as much as I should, but I'm trying to do some exercise, so some yoga, just to relax, to stretch a little bit. I also, maybe it sounds crazy, but I walk around my apartment. um,
Uh, it does sound a little bit crazy. Can you maybe
yeah,
sell it in a better way?
maybe while I'm watching the news, instead of just sitting on the sofa, I try and walk around a little bit. We have a little corridor in my apartment, so I walk up and down,
Oh, wow.
listen to the news,
All right.
and
Well,
yeah,
you know what?
just
Every little helps,
definitely.
You have a
Imagine I'm
corridor.
walking outside. Um,
That's fantastic.
yeah. What about
Yeah,
you,
maybe you
Sophia?
could put in your earphones as well and really make it
Put in
more
some
realistic.
music. Yeah.
Well, I did my best in the first week, or in the first week, I tried to do some Pilates, some yoga. I got out my yoga mat and did some exercises. But unfortunately, this did not last long. And honestly, I have been quite still, quite,
Mm.
is it how do we say
Sedentary. I don't know how to spell it, but
sedentary? I wasn't sure if it was sedentary or sedentary, the last couple of weeks.
yeah.
But I am trying hard to eat healthily. So eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and try not to snack very much, though it is very
Mm.
difficult because when I am at my desk and I am working, I can see the fridge. So it's very difficult to stop snacking. And of
Yeah.
course, a lot of tea, which helps
Mm.
me. Sedentary, nice. So an
Yeah,
adjective,
sedentary.
and it means when you are very still, you spend a long time sitting, not much physical
Mm.
movement.
Yeah, in fact, some of the webinars I've started doing standing up just to vary the
Oh,
position,
wow, that's actually a good
um,
idea. Yeah.
trying to put the computer up.
That's actually a good idea. In fact, they recommend in some offices you also find
Mm.
offices where people stand, or you can get adjustable desks so that you can stand for a bit, sit for a
Mm.
bit, to help your back.
Yeah,
Let's see what Antonio says. He says, "I am drinking coffee." Yes. Um,
I feel.
thank you
Oh, very nice. Antonio
thank you, Antonio.
is very good at giving compliments. Thank you, Antonio. Um,
He's one
it's
of our
very
most
nice.
dedicated followers. Um, he asks what
Ah,
you are drinking.
I'm drinking tea, Earl Grey tea. What about you, Sophia?
Oh,
What are you
nice.
drinking?
I'm drinking herbal tea. It's got
Mm.
lemon, ginger, and pepper. I'm hoping that it
Mm.
will wake me up. Antonio says, I am eating healthy food, but in general, I reduce the quantity of food I eat. Yes, I imagine that you
Mm.
are doing less physical exercise, less physical movements, and so you eat less.
Mm. So
Uh,
yeah, smaller portions maybe.
And
Um,
you also say, I'm not fond of exercise at home watching yoga videos on YouTube. Good expression, not fond of. Very nice. Very good use of this phrasal verb.
Perfect. Just be
Uh,
careful with the ing. I'm not fond of
doing, yes, very
doing
nice.
exercise.
Gianluca is also here.
Rebecca,
Hey,
hi.
Gianluca, nice to see you. Welcome back. Tell us, Gianluca, what are you doing at the moment to keep fit, so physically in good condition and healthy? Maybe you
Mm,
are doing exercise, maybe you are eating in a particular way.
mm.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
what about mentally healthy? It's something you mentioned before, Sophia. So obviously,
yeah,
keeping physically healthy is important, but it can also be psychologically difficult at the moment.
yeah,
So if you guys want to tell us anything that you're doing to keep mentally healthy.
as well. Yeah. Well, you are watching our webinars, which is a very, very
Yeah.
good thing to do. Gianluca says bad topic. We're not off to a good start.
Okay, why?
Um,
Why, Gianluca?
yeah. To keep mentally healthy, I am trying as much as possible to speak to people, to have contact with my family and my friends. And yeah, basically to speak to people. I'm not going outside very often. Maybe I should try to go outside a little bit more as
Mm.
well.
Do you have a balcony?
Silvana? No, unfortunately, I have
No,
no
okay.
balcony. But I open the window every
Oh,
day and I try to look outside for a bit.
yeah, it's really important.
Silvana says, "Hi, I'm Silvana. I'm trying to drink. You're missing one word. As much water as I can, and I'm doing fit exercise for 30 minutes every day." Nice,
Wow,
Silvana. Good.
she
Wow,
is very focused.
this is dedication. I wish I had Silvana's dedication.
Me too. You need a lot of willpower.
Absolutely, a lot of motivation as well.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, so just be careful, Silvana. We need two as's here.
yeah.
As much water as possible.
Nice. What about you, Emily? What are you doing to
Mm.
keep mentally healthy?
I think similar to you, I'm trying to keep in contact with my friends, my family,
Mm,
organizing maybe a chat on Skype or a chat with my friends, my
absolutely, a Skype
family.
call, group chats. Yeah.
Yeah. Also going outside. We fortunately have a little balcony. It's not very
Oh,
big,
that's good.
but
Yeah.
it's enough to kind of go out and get some fresh air from time
Yeah.
to
Enough
time.
to feel the sun on your face sometimes.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
though there's not much sun today, but
So, did you see yesterday? I don't know if it happened also where you are in your cities, but yesterday in Bologna, it snowed.
yeah.
Which for us was very, very confusing. It snowed and now we are confused.
Mm,
Because for a moment it felt like it was becoming spring, but then we went back.
mm,
Let's see Gianluca's comment.
yeah.
He says,
Um,
I'm becoming lazy. I watch a lot of webinars and I go out with my dog twice a day. I even do stretching all day. That doesn't sound
ah,
lazy to me, Gianluca.
I think you're doing more than many people.
You're definitely doing more than me. And Gianluca says, "This is my amazing activities." Maybe you want to make it plural, Gianluca. These are my amazing activities to keep me healthy. Okay, so
Mm,
let's make it plural. Not this
yeah,
is, but these are.
perfect. Because we have activities, which is plural. So
Exactly. All right,
yeah,
nice
very
job,
good.
guys. Well,
Well
keep
done.
telling us if you have joined us now or if you join
Mm,
us later. Have a look in the comments and yeah, let us know what you are doing to keep fit and healthy. Shall we look at
wow.
our focus? When,
Shall we head over? So
yeah,
today we're talking about sports.
exactly.
An
So
interesting topic.
if we look at our objectives for today, we will do some idioms related to sports and how these can be used as informal business language. And we will also guess the meaning of some sports idioms.
Yeah, it's really strange that sports idioms are often used in business. I don't know why, but it's a really common
I think it must
area.
be the competition.
Yeah, good point.
It must
It's
be
a
the
competitive.
idea of competition
Mm,
because they both involve this.
good point. Good. Okay, so can you guys tell us what's your favorite sport and do you play sport?
Let us know in the comments, so get typing. Do you have a favorite sport, Emily?
Honestly, I don't like competitive sports. Speaking of
Yeah,
competition, I prefer sports where I can just focus on myself and not think about competing with other people. So things like
yeah.
yoga, aerobics, Pilates, Maybe tennis if it's a friendly match.
It's friendly match, yeah.
But yeah, I remember when I was at school, I was good at swimming, but I hated the competitive aspect of it.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like I wanted to race with other people.
Yeah, I understand.
What about you, Sophia?
Actually, I'm very similar to you. I don't really like competitive sports. I've never played team sports in my life. I do the sports that I do, as you said, are individual sports, Pilates, yoga. I've been doing dance since I was a child, but these are always they're always personal. So it's something that you do for yourself, not you're not against someone.
Yeah.
And also, when I was a child, I played badminton with my dad. My dad plays badminton, and when I was a child, we used to play in the garden.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. When I was a child, I thought I was good. Wait, Joanna says, I love you, Em and Sophia with a P. Thank you. I love you too, Joanna. In fact, it was with Joanna that we did this.
This okay.
What was I thinking? That yeah, when I was a child or a teenager, I thought I was good at badminton, but now thinking back, I think my dad let me win.
Oh, okay. He was a little bit lenient.
Yeah, I think he was letting me win. Joanna says, I like hockey and rugby. Joanna is a big sports fan.
Yeah.
And
She's quite different from us, I guess, because these are big team sports.
Yeah.
They're quite competitive.
Yeah. And Gianluca says, hockey and beach volley. Very nice.
Excellent.
Do you like to watch any sports?
Not really. I maybe watch international sports. So like when we have the Olympics or the World Cup or maybe the Six Nations, something where you have countries together. I kind of feel like it's nice to support your country.
Yeah.
But generally, like when we talk about football, for example, we have different clubs. I don't really support a particular club.
Yeah, no, for me, it's exactly the same. I'll watch the football if it's the European Cup or the World Cup. I like watching the Olympics, but otherwise I don't follow any particular sport. Let us know in the comments if you are if you're a fan of a particular sport, if you follow a certain team. Silvana says, I love watching basketball matches. Let's make it plural, but I've never tried it. Maybe because I'm not so tall. Very good. Tall is an adjective, so you don't need much. Remember, much is only for uncountable nouns. So, for example, I don't drink much tea, which is a lie. I drink a lot of tea, but I'm not so tall for an adjective, Silvana.
Yeah, so definitely remember the plurals, guys. When we're talking about things in general, we would use the plural. So in this case,
exactly.
And also you could say so, very, or really tall.
Yeah, I'm not so tall. I'm not very tall. I'm not really tall. Absolutely.
Different options.
So let us know in the comments about the sports you like to play, the sports you like to watch. And let's look at our first activity.
Yes. So please continue commenting if you want to, but we're going to move on. So in English, there are many expressions and colloquialisms related to sport. They are often used in work and business contexts. Can you identify any examples in the text from a business meeting below?
Okay. So shall we read... Shall I start and then you continue?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So, right. Let's kick off with the first item on the agenda, the Torino deal. We've pitched the team a good offer, but I don't think they're going to play ball. Sorry, you continue.
No, that's okay. In order to get the ball rolling, I think we're going to have to up our game. Otherwise, they'll throw in the towel and the entire deal won't be possible.
That's dense. That's a lot of idioms pushed into a very small text.
Yeah, maybe we should point out that we wouldn't usually use so many idioms together. It sounds a little bit of a cliche.
It does. It sounds a bit forced, doesn't it?
This is an example to show you the meaning.
So let's see. We've got how many? I think there are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. Let's see if we can identify the examples in the text. Silvana has one.
Kickoff.
Let's kick off. Absolutely. That's one.
If anyone wants to tell us what it means, let's kick off.
Yeah, if you can think of the meaning as well.
I think in my English school, maybe they know what a kickoff is.
What else? Maybe while you're looking for the idioms and the colloquialisms, we can look at some vocabulary. So in the first line, pay attention to this word item. Pay attention to the pronunciation, not E, but I, item. An item, if we think of an item on an agenda, on a shopping list, on any kind of program, the item is simply one point or one thing. Maybe if you go to the supermarket, you have 10 items on your shopping list, and then you can also buy 10 items. So in this case, the item is the actual object that you buy. I don't know. Can you think of any other examples with item?
I think the supermarket is a good example. For example, if you go to the checkout, the self-checkout, so the computerized checkouts, often they say something like 15 items or less.
Absolutely.
So obviously you can't bring a very big trolley and scan it yourself. Usually there is a limit on the number of items.
Yeah. Do you usually go to the self-checkout, Emily, or the human checkout?
The human checkout. It depends. If I'm just buying a few things, then I will probably use the self-checkout.
Yeah.
At the moment, because when we go to the supermarket, we buy a little bit more.
Yes.
The human checkout.
Yeah.
What about you?
I usually use the self-checkout because in the supermarket I go to, usually there is no queue at the self-checkout, but there is a big queue at the cashier. So I usually end up going to the self-checkout simply because there's no queue there.
Yeah, good point.
Silvana, excellent. The kickoff is a start of a match. Absolutely. The start of a football match. Nice. So we found kickoff. We have 5 more expressions to find.
Can you find any more expressions? I feel like the other students are being very quiet. Gianluca and Antonio, are you still with us? Can you hear us? Say hello.
Can you help us to identify these colloquialisms? Maybe we should help them with the next one.
Yeah, should we have a look at the next one? There's a word, one word.
Right here. So the next one is to pitch. Good. Which could be to propose, for example.
Yeah, to pitch an idea. Pitch a product, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Anyone else? Please do let us know if you can see us. I know we've been having some technological problems in the past few days. So if you're still with us, please, even if you don't know the answer, just give us a wave.
Say hello. Oh my goodness, Antonio's busy. He's he is what's the word? He's when you do 2 things at once, you multitask. Exactly. Antonio is multitasking.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's help you out with the next one. I think we have to go to the 3rd line here. I don't think they're going to play ball. But another one could be team, for example. We've pitched the team a good offer. I mean, we call them teams in work, but maybe the reason we call them team is because it's team in sports as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I think team is maybe not a natural word for an office. It kind of has an image more of a sport.
Exactly, that maybe it was taken from there. Silvana has another one. She says, get the ball rolling. Very nice.
Good.
And we need two more. We need to find two more expressions. Silvana, we are counting on you. We are depending on you.
Yeah. Maybe let's talk about what it means to get the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Antonio too. Get the ball rolling. Perfect. What does it mean? When would we use this phrase?
To get the ball rolling, I would say, is to begin something, to start to set things in motion. Think about maybe, well, a ball which rolls, but in order for it to move, you need to push it. So
Give some force.
exactly. So it's this impetus, this force to start a process.
Yeah, to start or to begin. Yeah, to start a project. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
So two more to find.
Yes.
In the same line and then in the final line as well.
Okay, Antonio has another one. The ball is in your court.
That's a very good one, actually. And he anticipated our next question, which would be if there are any other sports idioms that you use in Italian or in English. But yeah, the ball is in your court. Do you know what it means, Antonio? Could you explain for us what this
Can
means?
you give us a short explanation?
It's on fire. And what about, leave yoga, Antonio. You can do yoga later. Just
English is more interesting.
Can you think of any other expressions, Emily, that we have in English for sports?
Ooh. I don't know. Oh, very quickly, Antonio. Yeah, it's your turn now. The ball is in your court.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's your turn. I thought of another one, actually. Pass the baton.
Yeah,
I hadn't thought of this before, but to pass the baton, if you think of relay racing, in a relay race, it's you are running, but there are four people. One person starts, they give the baton that they are carrying to the second runner runs, he gives the baton to the third runner, etc. So this is a relay race, and we pass the baton is the expression. Do you know what it means, Emily?
Yeah, maybe to pass on the responsibility for a task to somebody else.
Exactly.
So, for example, if I'm doing a project at work, but it's not going very well, I could pass the baton on to my colleague who is maybe more, knows more about this project.
Yeah, more capable. It has quite a sense of it has a sense of responsibility. Like there is a sense of what you are entrusting to this other person is important. So that's another one. Silvana has found up our game. Very nice. And the final one is right next to it. Otherwise, they'll throw in the towel. Let us know as well if you can think of any other expressions, any other sports idioms or expressions in Italian or in English. We already had the ball is in your court, pass the baton. Marcello has a question. Hi, Marcello, welcome.
Hi, Marcello,
Thank you for
welcome.
joining us. Pitched. So if we remember, to pitch is to propose an idea or an offer.
Yeah.
Nice.
Particularly in business. If I have an idea, I want money to...
In business and in advertising a lot as well. In fact, I think in Italian they use pitch to describe the actual... Or is it in English that a pitch is the first meeting that you have with potential buyers? So you pitch your pitch, essentially.
There's a really interesting thing called the elevator pitch. I don't know if you've heard of this, Sophia.
I haven't, no. Can you explain it?
It says basically when you pitch an idea to a company or to a business, when you propose an idea, you don't have much time. You have to imagine you are in an elevator, so in a lift.
Yeah.
Okay, you meet this person and you have maybe 20 seconds to pitch your idea. So an elevator pitch is a very quick pitch.
So you essentially have the elevator ride to pitch this idea. Okay, interesting. So no, I hadn't heard about that.
It's a challenge. You have to pitch your idea in a very short amount of time.
But I imagine that this connects to the business idea that time is money. It's all connected to this essential idea, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe also first impressions. You only have a few minutes to make a good impression.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. All
Okay.
right, shall we click on and see
Yeah, let's
what
have a
else
look
we
at some
have?
of the definitions.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
have on the left
Mhm.
our sports idioms, so to up our game, to play ball, to throw in the towel, to kick off, and to pitch. On the
Mhm.
right, we have the definitions. Do you want to read them,
Yeah,
Emily?
sure. To make a proposal, to start, to improve performance, to agree to do something, to surrender, or to admit defeat.
Excellent.
Okay,
So
guys.
what you're going to do is match together the idioms and the definitions.
So the first one, to up our game. How would we define this?
Yeah.
Up our
And
game.
when have we can maybe have some
Hmm.
examples as well. So when have you had
Yeah.
to up your game in the past?
Hmm. For example, in this period, um, me and Sophia are used to teaching face to face in a school.
Mhm.
So we had to up our game and start doing webinars, teaching online.
Absolutely.
It
We
was
had to definitely, sorry to interrupt you, go on.
no, that's okay.
No, I was
um,
going to add that we definitely had to up our game also in terms of the technology that we use. I mean,
mm,
I've learned to use so many programs, so much software, which I did not know how to use before.
yeah, me too. I'm not technologically minded, so definitely had to up my game. And as Silvana says, yeah, it's to improve your performance.
Absolutely. Tell us, Silvana, when have you had to up your game in the past? When
Mm,
did you need to improve your performance? And she also gives us the second one, to play ball, to agree to
mm.
do something. Absolutely.
Yeah, perfect. To be compliant,
Mhm.
to agree. Good.
So this is our question to you. When have you had to up your game? Maybe in your
Mm,
work life, maybe in your private life. When did you need to improve
mm.
performance?
Maybe when you're studying English.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What about the next one?
Um,
Just throw in the towel.
this one is very unusual.
Mm.
But when I found out which sport it comes from, I understood why we say this.
Yeah, it's very visual. Every time I hear this, I imagine it
Absolutely.
happening. I imagine
Exactly.
someone
But before I
literally
could,
throwing the towel.
yeah, but before I couldn't imagine why we would
Mm.
throw in a towel. I was thinking of like throwing your towel into a swimming pool or into a bathtub. And I'm thinking, why would you
Yeah,
throw your towel into the water? It makes no sense. That's the last place you want your towel to be.
yeah. Maybe when you're
But then I
cooking,
discovered, yeah, but then I
get
discovered
frustrated.
you just throw it. But yeah, then I discovered why we say it.
Mm.
Um, and we also have kickoff and to pitch. When have you thrown in the towel in your life, Emily?
I think a good example would be maybe last year. Me and my husband decided to go to lessons of Boogie Woogie.
Oh, interesting.
It was really interesting. We went for about 6 weeks, and then we threw in the towel because we didn't have so much time. Maybe we enjoyed it, but it wasn't particularly
It
exciting.
wasn't for you.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
the end, we threw in the towel.
Um, did
Um,
you, were you good at it? Did you find that you had a talent for it?
I don't think I was bad. I think if we'd continued, we would have been okay.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, just it was exciting for the first few sessions, but after that,
But then
maybe, yeah,
it got a bit repetitive, maybe.
yeah, we didn't want really to continue for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a good
Silvana
example.
has a response. Yeah. I've had to up my game when I started to work in the hotel where I still work. Initially, I didn't know anything. I've had to improve my knowledge and make my boss proud of me. That's excellent,
Beautiful.
Silvana. Yeah, it's a really
Yeah.
nice response.
Hmm.
Very often, when we start a new job or we take on new responsibilities, we have to up our game.
Hmm.
Good. So let
One
us
thing
know.
I
Go
would say
on.
is maybe if we have when, it's better to use the past simple.
Yes, I
Uh,
was thinking the same. I mean, it's not,
it's not
yeah,
a
because
big mistake, but
but because we have a specific point in the past, we'll
mm,
use past simple. I had to up my
usually
game
with
when.
when. Yeah. Um,
Absolutely.
okay. What about Marcello and Antonio? If you're still with us, when
Yeah,
have you
let
had
us
to go for a
know,
cake?
what do you think the throw in the towel is? When have you had to up your game?
Sophia, have you ever thrown in the towel?
Not often because I like to finish what I start. I don't like to leave things in the middle.
Mm,
So usually when I take on a responsibility at work, or something, I see it through.
mm.
I'm trying to think of an example actually. I
You're very
uh,
conscientious, very
does it
determined.
count if I give up on, I don't know, TV series in the middle? Does that count as
Yeah,
throwing in the towel?
yeah, I
Okay,
guess.
so
Yeah.
I've thrown in the towel with a few TV series. For example,
Mm,
I never finished Breaking Bad. I never finished what was the other one called with the robots? I can't remember. I never finished Mr. Robot because I get bored. I get
mm,
bored. Sometimes I get confused, and I throw in the towel. So I
mm.
haven't finished a lot. Westworld was the other one as well.
Okay.
Breaking Bad, Westworld, and Mr. Robot. I threw in the towel. I didn't finish these TV series. And
Yeah.
Gianluca is probably watching this going, oh my God, what? Because I know Gianluca watches a lot of TV series.
Yeah. Gianluca, if you're with us, please tell us when have you thrown in the towel? Or
Yeah.
Silvana, Marcello, and Antonio.
So
Um,
let's give them this one. To throw in the
yeah.
towel, we will say, is to surrender or to admit defeat or to
Mm.
give up on something.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore.
Exactly. So like Emily with her boogie woogie lessons and me with my Netflix, we threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Um,
To kick up,
then
I
we have
think they know, probably.
exactly, which is to start. Let us know, you did a kickoff at my English school. Your first ever
Mm.
lesson was a kickoff. Let us know if you remember, which teacher did you do your kickoff with
Mm.
when you came to my English school? Do you remember which teacher did your kickoff?
Mm.
And that means that our final one is to pitch, which is to make a proposal, especially in business or in advertising.
Mm. Yeah, so maybe which teacher did you do your kickoff with and how did you feel?
Absolutely.
Um, so yeah, we have kind of two questions on the moment at the moment. If you guys want to respond to either of them, that is fine. When have you
Mhm.
thrown in the towel? Or which teacher did you do your kickoff with and how did you feel?
Yes, feel free to comment at any time and tell us your stories. Um, so while you are doing that, what we will do is look maybe at the origins
Mm.
of these expressions.
Yeah, where they come from.
Mhm.
Excellent.
So we have exactly the same idioms on the left, but
Mhm.
on the right we have some sports. We have football and baseball, boxing, baseball, general sport, and football. And what we
Mm.
will do is match the idioms to the sport that they refer to. So to match the idiom to the origin of each sport.
Mm. It's really interesting, this one, because as you said before, we don't necessarily know where they come from. We
Exactly.
say to throw in the towel, but we don't necessarily think about the origin.
Exactly.
Um,
Um, so yeah, let us know where you think these come from.
mm.
Do you remember your first kickoffs, Emily?
Yeah, I remember I was nervous, probably nervous as the students. Um,
Do you think the students are nervous in their kickoff?
I think it depends. I think there's kind of a nervous energy, so they could also be
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
Um, maybe they
I
don't
think
know what to expect.
yeah, it might also depend on their English as well, on their
Mm,
level of English. So maybe a student
mm.
who feels more confident would be more excited. A student
Yeah,
who is not so confident in their English level
mm,
might be a bit more nervous. It could be,
definitely.
yeah.
How about you, Sophia? Do you remember doing your first kickoffs? How you
Um,
felt?
yeah, I remember that I I was very, very precise. I had my list, and I had my list, and I was ticking off things on the list. I
Wow.
wanted to say everything, but I still forgot to say certain things.
Yeah, there's a lot of information.
Definitely. Silvana says, I've kicked off with a special teacher in MyS in Naples who now doesn't teach there anymore. Her name is Lucy. I've actually heard of Lucy. She's a very famous teacher. I've heard of her. Yeah, I've heard of her as well. She was so sweet, and Use the Past, Silvana, made me feel comfortable. And the same thing at the beginning, Silvana, you're talking about a specific event in the past. So I use the past simple, not I've, but I kicked off with a special teacher. Okay. But yes, Lucy from Naples is popularity. Her name has spread throughout the MyS world. I have, other students have spoken to me about her.
Wow, excellent. That's exciting. I'm going to search for her on LinkedIn later.
Marcello says, use the past again, Marcello. I kicked off at MyS Meravigli with Caesar. It was so easy because he spoke in my mother language, Portuguese. Fantastic. It was so friendly. That's really cool. So you spoke in Portuguese with Caesar. That's wonderful.
It's really
We really
nice.
are multinational and multi-talented at my English school, aren't we?
Yeah, very talented teachers.
You can do your kickoff not in Italian, not in English, but in Portuguese. It's fantastic.
Yeah, perfect. So just be careful as well with the past tense. We don't need the S. He spoke.
Yes,
we don't
exactly.
change in the third person. I know it's easy to remember because we remind you all the time, remember the S, remember the S.
Yeah, exactly. But not in third person. Yes, except in the past tense. Okay, maybe we should help them out a little bit. So we'll start with to up our game. What do you think, Emily?
It sounds very vague, very general.
It does, doesn't it? It does sound very general. In fact, I was thinking the same thing. Shall we say general sport? Yes, we shall.
We are correct.
Yeah. And then we've got to play ball. I'm trying to think. Let's play ball. That sounds like it might come from football or from baseball. What do you think?
Yeah, again, it's quite generic with the ball. So it's definitely not boxing.
Exactly. We've got a ball involved, so not boxing. I would say baseball or football. Nice.
Yeah, it's quite generic again. To throw in the towel. As we were saying before, this is very visual.
Exactly.
Sophia, do you know where this one comes from now?
I do now, yes. I discovered that this one comes from boxing. Can you explain to us, Emily, what happens in boxing?
Honestly, I don't know particularly well, but I think when the boxer has decided that he doesn't want to fight anymore, as a signal that he doesn't want to fight, he throws the towel into the ring.
Exactly. It's either the boxer or the coach, I think, will take the towel and throw it into the middle of the ring to signify we surrender, we don't want to continue. But as I said, I didn't know that this came from boxing. So people would say, oh, I threw in the towel. And I'm thinking, where did you throw it? Why did you throw it in? I was thinking of into a swimming pool or into water. I'm thinking, why?
Yeah, usually we think of towels in the bathroom or in the swimming
pool. To kick off, I think Silvana told us before, kickoff is the beginning of a football or a soccer match.
Yeah, so here baseball is not possible because obviously kicking is something you do with your leg. And baseball, you play with your arms.
Exactly. And kicking, of course, is the fundamental of football. And that means that our final one is to pitch, which comes from baseball. So the pitch is the very first throw in baseball. At the beginning of each round, they pitch or they throw the ball. That is right, yes. I'm not very clear on the rules of baseball.
No, baseball is a very American game. In the UK, we do not really play baseball. Maybe a similar thing that we play at school is rounders.
Yeah, absolutely. the rules are slightly different, but the setup is very similar. We have one pitcher. Exactly. We play with bats, which is the object that we use in baseball and rounders. Also in cricket, right? We have a cricket bat.
Yeah.
It looks a bit different, but
yeah, basically a long stick.
exactly.
Used to hit.
And you have to run the circle. Nice job, guys. So, shall we go on to our next activity?
Yes, lots of idioms today, guys.
Yeah, we're going to continue with even more idioms. This time we will look in particular at cricket and baseball. One which is a very English game and is also very popular in countries like India, in South Africa.
Yeah.
A very, very popular game.
I think especially in kind of ex-colonial countries, if we can say that.
In the, is it the Commonwealth, maybe?
Yeah, the Commonwealth is the current term. I couldn't remember, yeah.
So the ex-colonies, which where the English influence has remained very much, so cricket is very popular. Whereas baseball, as you know, is a very American game.
Okay, Antonio's saying goodbye.
Bye, Antonio.
Thank you for joining us, Antonio. Have fun at the supermarket.
Actually, surprisingly, baseball is the most popular sport in Japan. Did you know that?
I didn't know. I wouldn't have expected it.
It's very surprising. I wouldn't have expected it either, but baseball is the most popular sport in Japan, which is very strange because why would they have an American influence? It doesn't make much sense, but yeah. So
interesting.
We have our idioms in the middle of the slide. Do you want to read them, Emily?
Yeah, sure. To hit a home run, to touch base, to throw a curveball, to hit someone for 6, and to be bowled over.
Exactly. So we will tell you what these idioms mean, and in the meantime, we would like you to tell us, do you think they originate from cricket or do they originate from baseball?
Yeah, and if you don't want to write the whole word, you can just put a C or a B next to them.
Exactly. So to hit a home run, maybe you can take this one, Emily, and explain to us what this means.
So to hit a home run is when I'm really lucky and I'm really successful. Yeah, lucky or talented. So I do something and it is a success. So I pitched my project to the company. They accepted it and they invested a lot of money in the project. I hit a home run.
Exactly.
Had a big success.
Then we have to touch base. So to touch base is in particular always in a business or a work setting. When I touch base, I have a meeting. Maybe I have a meeting with my entire team and we talk about the project. We talk about where we have arrived in the project, what is completed, what we still need to do. So it's a bit like keeping each other up to date on something.
Yeah, definitely. It's really important.
Yeah. So for example, with the school, with the team, with all our colleagues, we touch base once a week. And we talk about our online lessons, we talk about the webinars, we talk about what is going well, what is not. So we touch base.
Very good. Excellent. The next one, to throw a curveball. I think this is quite an American saying because I hadn't really heard of this before. It kind of means to do something unexpected, which maybe has a negative effect, or maybe it changes my life. So, for example, the coronavirus has thrown a curveball
in our lives. Exactly. Something unexpected.
Change.
Exactly. Something unexpected, which takes us by surprise and makes us really have to adapt in order to continue.
Yeah. Okay. A reminder, guys, if you're watching, please tell us, where do you think these sayings come from? Cricket or baseball?
Exactly. Type for us in the comments. Then we have to hit someone for 6, which I will be completely honest, I had not heard before I had not heard this expression before this focus. Maybe you would be better, Emily, at explaining this one.
Yeah. Similarly, it's not something I'd really heard. I'd maybe heard it in the past, but I didn't really think
Know
about
the
what it
meaning.
meant.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of means to do something which devastates someone.
Yeah, to give them some very bad news
Yeah.
and to give someone some bad news to devastate them. And
Yeah.
we can also use it, for example, you can say, I was hit for 6. You can use it to talk about yourself as well.
Yeah, perfect. So there are different ways of using it. But yeah, for example, I was fired from my job. Okay, obviously, terrible situation. It hit me for 6.
Exactly. Silvana's asking to hit a home run baseball. I think she's correct. I think this one comes from baseball.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice one.
I don't really know what a home run is, but I imagine it's when you go around and you
Exactly.
get to the big.
Exactly. Similar to rounders. You hit a home run means that you hit the ball far enough that you have time to run around all of the bases before you are before the whoever catches the ball and you're out.
So it's just success, something successful. Okay.
And the final one is to be bowled over. So if someone is bowled over, it means that they are, again, taken by surprise. Okay, something unexpected happens and you are astonished by it. We can actually connect it, I think, to throw a curveball. We could say that life threw a curveball at me and I was bowled over. We could put them together, maybe.
Definitely. So in this sense, it's kind of similar to it hit me for 6. But I think hit me for 6 is maybe stronger.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Hit for 6 is much more negative. Bowled over is simply to be taken by surprise.
Yeah, positively or negatively.
Absolutely.
I was bowled over by your project.
Marcello says to touch base baseball. I think he's right. I think it's right there in the name, actually, as well.
Yeah, baseball.
Yeah.
Hey
let
guys.
us know for the others as well. What do you think? Where do you think these words come from? Yeah, let's try to think of some more examples as well.
Yeah. Sophia, how often do you touch base with your family in the UK at the moment?
In the past, we touched base about once a week, but recently, well, on the phone about once a week, messages more often. But since the lockdown, we have been touching base every day, every 2 days. We will constantly update each other on our situations because my family is in 4 different countries, and each person has their own rules, their own situations. So we touch base every day almost. What about with you, Emily?
The same. Maybe before I would touch base, especially with my parents, once a week at the weekend, maybe. Whereas now, every day, every 2 days. Also because we're at home, so we have a little bit more time.
Yeah, of course, you have more time. So, I mean, I've been saying that for me, that is the silver lining in this situation, that you have more time to speak to people, to stay in contact. So there is definitely a positive side as well.
Yeah, maybe we realize the importance of relationships when life is very busy. Often our relationships are the first thing that we neglect.
Yeah, we put them to one side. So we have 1 minute left, so maybe we should give some final answers. Yeah. So to throw a curveball comes from baseball. If you throw a curveball, I think it means you throw it in a certain way. It has a certain spin, and we don't know which direction it will go in.
So it's difficult for the person hitting the ball to predict.
Exactly. And as we said, if life throws you a curveball or someone, it means that they do something unexpected and you have to very quickly react.
Yes.
To hit someone for 6 comes from cricket. Do you know the meaning of this?
Honestly, not very well. I imagine it's something negative.
I imagine it has to do with the points, the 6.
Maybe. Yeah,
It could
maybe
be. It has
you
something to do
lose
with the
6
point.
points or something like that. I don't know.
Something to do with the point system in cricket. And to be bowled over, again, is connected to cricket. But again, not knowing the details of the game, I can't say what exactly it's connected to.
Yeah,
All right,
to
guys.
bowl is like to throw, so I guess it's to knock something over, maybe.
Maybe. It would be the British equivalent of pitch. But unfortunately, everyone, that's all we have time for today.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for
joining
joining us. Thank you very much for your participation, for your comments.
And enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weekend.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Bye,
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.